He's doing pretty good. He's a strong person, with a lot of faith. We haven't talked a whole lot, but I talked to him after he got the news, and he was holding up pretty good. It certainly let the wind out of the sails of our team for a little bit. I told him right before practice, and you could just see it, kind of a downer, and then got out there and got to practicing, and it took us a little while to shake it off and get going, but we ended up practicing well towards the end. But again, Rob has held up fine so far. Disappointing news, but just one of those things. So.
You remember how it happened?
Oh yeah.
What was it? Was it a drill or what was?
No, he was finishing a run and team, and got down towards the end, and just kind of zigging and zagging a little bit, and it buckled on him. It wasn't a contact injury; it was a non-contact injury.
Just one of those situations where you had no idea at the time it was something serious, and then perhaps it swelled up or something.
Right. Well, he was in there and had a great practice yesterday. The first time he's felt good in about 2 weeks, and went out there and barked out the signals and looked sharp and threw the ball very well, and the offense really executed, and it was a great day. We were really hitting on all cylinders, and then he tweaked it, and we held him out. I just thought it was just a routine thing, and then after practice, talking with the trainers, they told me that it could be significant, and then this morning we found out that it was.
He would seem to be the sort of guy who's going to be involved regardless whether you play or not.
I would expect that, yes.
How do you tell the team, basically, especially after what happened last year with the number of injuries, and not allow them to start thinking, here we go again?
Well, we've had practice at it, so we've been through this before, and they know what they have to do. Everybody's got to rally up. The good thing is that prior to Rob's injury, we were executing very well on offense, regardless which quarterback was behind the center, and it's been that way throughout camp. I thought Caleb was having a great camp, particularly early. I think Shawn Robinson has done very, very well. He's executed the offense. He's been very poised and calm, and really seems to have a great handle on it. And those were all great signs way before Rob's injury. So I think the fact that Turbush and Shawn has done so well so far in camp, allows us to get our butts back in our pants a little bit quicker and press on, because we have to get ready to beat Middle Tennessee.
Danny, did Rob have a chance to talk to the team today at all?
Just while we were practicing, he came out, and then he had to get off of his knee, so we got him on the other side of the field and to get him off, to take care of the swelling. But he has not had a chance to really address the team. They didn't know anything about it until just right before we came out for practice. They got the news later this morning, around lunchtime or so, and then wanted to make sure they had a chance to tell the team that he had injured his knee yesterday, and the odds are that he would not be available for the first game, and that we would know more about it later, just so that they would hear it from us first, obviously.
You've obviously only had kind of 1 day to process this, but do you expect to keep splitting the reps between two quarterbacks, or you just put everything you have into one at this point?
No, we're going to continue doing like we're doing. We're not going to have just one quarterback ready. So we're getting both those guys a ton of reps. Robert's been out the bulk of camp anyway. Marv has, and Henry has been held out a significant amount of reps the second half of camp due to his illness prior to his injury. So those guys, Turbush and Shawn Robinson, has had a lot of reps the latter part of camp anyway. So they've been swapping it up, and they'll keep swapping it up, the reps. We'll have to get them both ready, obviously.
Do you plan still to play both of them, both those guys in the first game?
Absolutely. Whoever 1 and 2 is, we're going to play those guys. In order for us to have number 2 ready, he has to play in the games. It's just quite that simple. So it doesn't matter who it is. If it was you, we'd be playing you in the games. So I'm here in just a little bit. So number 2 has to get in the games in order for him to be ready. We have potentially we have a chance to be a very good football team. A lot of redeeming qualities. Obviously, the quarterback play is significant in our direction, so we have to have 2 ready to go. We can't lose one and put the next guy in the game and him not be ready to go. Unfortunately, Shawn Robinson has played in the games before. He wasn't redshirt. He got a lot of varsity reps last year, and right now, Turbush and Shawn Robinson are further ahead than our top 2 quarterbacks were this time last year. Just from knowing the offense and being around and knowing what to do. They're very familiar with it, so I have some comfort level with it because those guys have been around and they've executed the offense very well to this point in camp. So we'll have to press forward. Very disappointing news. I feel terrible for Rob. and the football team is very saddened by it. So we'll have to everybody put a little bit more into it and